So we touched on it. Let's dive in a little bit deeper. What is the key to the Steelers beating this Patriots team?
Well, at the most basic level, something they haven't been able to do in the last month of football, including their win against Jacksonville before this 3-game slide, which is play anything close to a complete game. In the game against Denver, the turnovers in the red zone ruined them. They were bad on offense in that game, scoring 17 points. Against the Chargers, we talked about it. The defense collapsed in the second half, while after the offense played great in the first half. And against the Raiders, I would argue they were shoddy in all phases. Maybe you'll give the offense a bit of a pass because they were on their third-string running back, and Big Ben missed the majority of the second half. But the defense was, when this team was 1-2-1, we were like, man, they haven't recovered from the Shazier injury yet. The defense isn't good. When they turned 1-2-1 into 7-2-1, the story was the defense turned things around.
Right.
It's now back to the first quarter of the season as far as how the defense has been, at least in the second halves of these last couple games.
A couple keys for Pittsburgh. Offensively, they got to be able to get their tight ends in matchups against their linebackers and/or their safeties. New England safeties are very, very good. But Pittsburgh, that's the advantage I believe they have. Get a lot of yards after the catch, typically New England. They tackle well in space. From a defensive standpoint, they got to get back to, I want the same resolve that Mike Tomlin had in that press conference. I want to get after Tom Brady, T.J. Watt. All right? I want Mike Tomlin to come up with a very, very aggressive game plan, because this is basically their season. I expect them to bounce back at home. Last home game, all right, they had a lead that they had never relinquished that lead of that margin in the history of the football team. So I expect Pittsburgh, coach in the press conference, typically the Pittsburgh Steelers, and this is one of the great home field advantages now. I expect that crowd to be able to help that team out to try to get through this little slump that they're in now.